Chris is whispering that his fear is falling in love with me. I am very, very confused. Are we really done? Like, with my emotions everywhere, with this situation, why can't we be just normal, boring ass couple?
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I love you and Jesus loves you. And before we get into today's video, please be sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss out on another video. Today's video, we're going to talk about self-imposed problems, and today's video is inspired solely on Married at First Sight. If you aren't watching that, it's a mess, specifically based on the Paige and Chris situation. So for a little background, if you've never watched Married at First Sight, don't know what it's about, it's when people get married at first sight. In this season, there's two people named Paige and Chris. They verbally say that they are Christians. They will say it. The dynamic of those two people is where Chris says that he's a Christian, but based off his actions and based off like how he talks, if you watch the show, you'll see that he's more of like a lukewarm kind of Christian, knows God, knows Jesus, raised in the church, but doesn't really like act out, follow the commands that the Lord has presented to us. And then there's Paige, who's more of like a born again Christian. You can tell that from her actions and from how she talks and how she behaves, she's probably like new to the faith kind of thing. Yeah, those are those two people. So with that being said, Chris pretty much puts Paige through the ringer. Like I said, it's a mess. He puts her through a lot, and she continuously says that God put her there for a reason. You can tell she's broken, and you can tell that she like idolizes like being married. It kind of like inspired me because like at one point like I was also similar to Paige in some aspects, and I know a lot of other people are as well, and you don't really realize things until after you get through them, hindsight 2020. So this video is for anyone who is in a situation and they don't realize it until you watch this video. So, self-imposed problems. This is no like bashing of Paige or anything like that. I'm definitely praying for Paige, and I pray like she comes to see and comes to know her worth. He comes to know like how God sees her and what she deserves and everything like that. So getting into this video, how do you know that you are in a self-imposed problem? So you know that you are in a self-imposed problem when the situation doesn't align with the fruits of the spirit. And if you don't know what the fruits of the spirit entail, I got you.
That's why I'm here.
The fruits of the spirit include love, joy, patience, kindness, goodness, peace, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. For example, when I was studying for my Security Plus to get into like a tech path, although it was hard and although it was tough, although it was those two things, I still felt an abundance of peace and an abundance of grace and an abundance of strength and determination to get through it. I know there have been situations where I thought something was of God and I thought I was in a direction where I was supposed to go, but there was a lot of confusion and there was a lot of,
am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing?
Or I would just like lose interest. So that's how I kind of knew like, okay, this is the direction I'm supposed to be in. It's just peace. You have to feel it for yourself, but you will feel peace and you will feel like I like to call it like, you feel like you're just like being carried through it. Okay, God is literally like helping me, giving me enough strength and enough energy and enough of so much. He's just holding me, get me through this season of whatever may be tough for me in that moment. He's getting me through it. It's just like you kind of know, like So like if your problem does not give you peace, it does not give you like the fruits of the spirit that I just mentioned a few seconds ago, you might have a self-imposed problem. my guy. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna get through it. This is what this video was for. Okay, and another thing that can help you decide and help you figure out if you are in a self-imposed problem is if your mind is telling you one thing, but what you are seeing, what other people are saying, what the word is saying aren't matching up with what's going on in your head. And I got 2 examples for you to help you out in this arena. Number 1, you feel like you got the word that this particular person, this particular man, this particular woman is supposed to be your husband or supposed to be your wife, and you're like, yeah, the Lord said that this person's my husband, this person's my wife. I just feel it in my spirit. Like, if you feel that, you gotta check when you received that word. Because did you receive that word when you were drunk? Did you receive that word when you were high? Did you receive that word in the middle of praying for the opposite thing? For example, say you were praying and you're like,
Lord, I just feel like the situation isn't of you. Can you take control of it? Lead me where you want me to go.
And then all of a sudden you get a pop-up in your head that says, that person's your husband, wait on them. That doesn't match up. So you have to be aware of things like that, because Satan's out there, you know, he's trying to take God's sheep. He's trying to confuse and destroy and kill and all of that kind of stuff. So you got to be aware. You got to be on your toes. You got to have discernment. You have to know, like, hey, this doesn't match up. If it don't match up, then you got to question it. And like something that I did personally was like when my mind didn't match up with what I knew, I said that to God. I was like, Lord, this is not matching up. So have your way and take control. And eventually he got me right, and it went away. And example number 2 is back to Paige and Chris. Is constantly saying God put her there for a reason. God is in this relationship, putting all of that relationship on God, but it doesn't match up with the word and how a husband should treat a wife or what a godly marriage looks like. And here's like a little personal testimony. It was kind of that caused the self-imposed problem in my life was when I believe God was leading me to using crystals, and God made crystals, and I felt like because God made crystals, that would lead me closer to God. Because I dabbled in that, and realized like that's not it, and tried to leave and dove into like the word and going to church and getting my life back in alignment with what God truly wants for me. I ended up with a bigger problem where I would get nightmares related to crystals and related to like the whole witchcraft and all of that kind of stuff. Like, they were scary for real. But that was a problem that I caused on myself because I believed God was in it, but he wasn't. So that's why we have to be careful when we say God led us to something or God put us in the situation. There's also free will, and we put ourselves in things without moving when God tells us to move. That can be dangerous. I don't have nightmares anymore. I believed I was delivered from it. Thank you, Jesus. But if you like this video so far, make sure you screenshot me here. Screenshot me here. Make sure you like and make sure you comment. Make sure you subscribe. Did you do it? Did you? Thank you. Now back to scheduled programming. Well, now that we know what self-imposed problems look like, now we can discuss how to get ourselves out of it, how to avoid them ever again, and how to move forward walking in the beautiful path the Lord intends for us to walk in. Baby, number 1, you got to know your word. When you know your word, you are less likely to be easily swayed. You're less likely to be easily swayed, and you're less likely to be easily deceived. Number 2, you got to pray for discernment. You don't have because you don't ask. If you're going to ask for discernment, then where are you going to get your discernment from? Pray for it. The Lord will give it to you. As well as discernment, pray for wisdom and for following his commands. Because we all need strength and we all need to be nudged in the right direction. You have to know the fruits of the spirit, and you have to know when things don't align with it. You have to stay watchful, have to stay aware, you have to be on your post. You got to stay on your post and make sure like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Make sure like if you are idolizing things, you know you are idolizing things, have the Lord work on you about it. So if there's anything that you need to work on, ask the Lord and he will work on it. But be prepared, because when he says when you ask him to work on it, he's gonna work on it and expose some things, and you have to be ready for it. It's gonna just be like,
Okay, God. Okay, I see you. I see you. I'm not ready for it though.
it's gonna feel like that. But in the end, like once you get through it, like new you, boo. So yeah, in conclusion, self-imposed problems don't last forever. As long as you realize that you put yourself in this particular problem, this situation, and then you go to the Lord, ask him to help you get out of it and turn things around for you, he will do it. It's a process. It might take some time, but as long as you are aware and as long as you want things to change, they will change. God uses things that were bad for you and turns them for good all the time. And things that you don't even see, that things that you don't even know are working for you. He's doing things that we don't even see. No problem is a problem forever. Problems turn into lessons. Problems can be used to help other people. Be aware and be vigilant. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure you like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, help me get to 500 subscribers. I kind of like want to do like a 500 subscriber special where when I get 500 subscribers, I want to donate $500 to a particular charity that I want you guys to vote on. So definitely subscribe so we can get there. Love y'all. See you next time.